There is a curious occurrence that happens when you leave Shanghai. Sitting just outside the welcome courtyard of the water town in the village of WUZHEN, time was playing tricks. As if time had gone completely in reverse, an ancient water town was restored, a worthy, albeit expensive endeavor. Just a 45-minute drive north of Hangzhou, it shares in the long history of Zhejiang province. Built around the Grand Canal, the longest man-made river to date, WUZHEN is one of a handful of tourist villages that lay along this Beijing to Hangzhou conduit. A premier tourist destination, it spans 72,000 square kilometers, spreading over 6 districts. It was too much ground to cover, even with 2 whole days. Luckily, I grabbed my own guide in the form of Peter. Peter is a local tour guide, one of an elite fleet of guides in WUZHEN, with the distinction of rank shown through his cream-colored trench coat.
I was wondering, how long is this street?
It's about 1.8 kilometers.
And along the street, we could find what? What would we find? Guest houses?
Guest house, some scenic spots like go to the Binding Museum. It's a museum shows China usually has small feet. It's kind of culture binding.
Binding, wow.
Yeah. And also we have an academy. Once the prince wants to come here to study.
Wow.
And also we have some painting salon for local artists gathering over there. And also you will find different kinds of shops over the street, snack, and some restaurants, hotels, everything included in this.
I would be in it for a little bit of a snack. We could do that.
On our first stop, the soybean paste shop.
So I guess he's done for the day. He's just covering up.
Actually, there are just about 20 bean paste shops scattered throughout WUZHEN. Traditionally fermented in vats, the paste here locks in that authentic deep flavor, ubiquitous to food in this province. But be warned.
Wow, it smells really pungent. It's the soy sauce paste. I see. How much for a bowl? 35 yuan for traditional, you can't get anywhere else, soybean paste. I see. Wow. Can I hold one? Question is, can you bring it on a plane? Ultimately, if you can't bring it home, you can bring this home. Wow, look at that. And it's in a jar. Is this also a traditional jar?
No, it's a traditional jar. So there's a paste inside.
This is what will happen to me at the end of this script. So this is what you call sticky rice, right? So what am I doing exactly?
It's similar like sticky rice.
Okay.
But this we call them it's called mochi.
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 Yeah.
Mochi, sorry.
Mochi. Matsu we call it in Chinese.
Okay. And then what happens to this after I pound it to smithereens?
Yeah, it's later will become like this. Finally with the sesame. Getting taste.
Oh, awesome.
And the rice is different than normal rice. This is red rice. You can see it's red rice. Different than
See that? It's actually a pinkish, almost green-like color.
the natural color.
But I'm sure it's very delicious. Well, you know what? I'm going to give this back to the professionals. This man over here has been doing it for, I don't know, a long time, I assume.
Yeah, that's where we go.
Thank you. Kindness among strangers.
Well, cheers to that.
Over so much.
While walking the corridor of WUZHEN, Peter and I had a good chat about WUZHEN's recent history.
It's quiet. You know, I would even prefer to go here on a non-peak season. I mean, I'm sure you'll get better rates too, because there aren't a lot of people.
But as Peter tells me later on, an average of 2,000 guests come to visit WUZHEN every day, and the number rises every year.
Talk to me a little bit about accommodations.
If people don't like the hotels, like more the facilities. You can choose a guest house. But actually, with the household inside, their room, guest room was modern, with a modern facility.
With modern facilities.
Yeah, but the uplook, that's the guest house.
I like it.
Proudly claiming the title of the Venice of the East, with its winding canals and would-be gondoliers, I'd like to think WUZHEN stands to be so much more, possessing its own personality, provided generously by the locals still residing here.
Yeah, and over there, there's a tea house, traditional tea house facing the water.
What's the traditional tea? Chrysanthemum?
Chrysanthemum tea here.
Here. It's popular.
Yeah, popular here, produced here.
Throughout the town, there are tea houses that offer free tea, like self-service water stations for the locals. Peter was keen on teaching me some local etiquette and introducing me to some welcoming local residents.
Yeah, it's kind of like tea house here.
Hi.
So local people who are living here.
Hi. So how does one do the tea business here?
Like this, they are drinking this local tea. It's called chrysanthemum tea. The local farmers here, they planted the
Very
tea.
popular tea.
Yeah.
What is that? What's happening? What's happening?
That means sex.
That means sex.
Tea. Do you want to have a tea?
Yes, please. I would love one.
If they're pulling you a tea, they just with the two fingers, look lightly.
Knock lightly.
No, not lightly.
Okay, just knock lightly.
Not look lightly.
And what does that mean?
That means sex.
That means thanks.
Yes.
My mind was blown. All this time with all that rigmarole over modern living and forward thinking, it all seems so unnecessary now. Until, that is, an all too familiar itch to post the experience came along.
Local celebrities. Is it okay if I get a picture with my newfound friends? I'll upload it on their free Wi-Fi all over WUZHEN. Okay?
With WUZHEN's town-wide free internet access, you can click and upload your experience in real time. But be warned, certain networking sites aren't yet fully accessible in China. Still, there is more than one way to get around this minor setback. What is great about WUZHEN is that, for all its vintage glory, it's still very much a modern tourist zone. Far more friendly than most that I've visited, its beguiling exterior, rooted in its vast history, has cleverly hidden its gifts as an elegant and modern facility. With all the narrow side streets and little details you could busy yourself here, it's the broad view atop a bridge that makes the trip.
Wow, look at that. Gorgeous.
By the evening, Peter was off the hook, and I was back in the group. Dinner was a quick one, as we amped up for the chilly ride along the canals. Boat rides are still the most efficient way to travel here. But for me, it was simply a romantic evening to cap my stay in WUZHEN. So quickly did I fall in love with the town that by the next morning, the discomfort in leaving so soon was certainly apparent.
WUZHEN is amazing. I wouldn't expect this traditional town to emerge out of such exciting cities like Shanghai. But here it is. And a day is just not enough.